For the graph, if you are not yet used in determining the domain and range by simply looking at it, I suggest you make use of colors. Let me show you. So for the domain, we are going to shade the area of the graph coming from the left to the right. You first see color from -4 that corresponds to this point, ends at 2 that corresponds to this point. Meaning, your domain is from -4 to +2. So we write it this way. We make use of brackets because the two endpoints are shaded circle, meaning they are included. Other teachers prefer writing in set builder notation. I'll teach you how. So x is an element of real number such that -4 will be our left limit and 2 our right limit. So we first write -4 close to the vertical line. And then 2 somewhere on the right. Then since this is bracket, we make use of less than or equal to, so close to -4. Then this is also bracket, so less than or equal to also, close to 2. And then write x at the middle, and finally enclose your domain. So this is read as x is an element of real number such that x is less than or equal to 2, but greater than or equal to -4. Meaning, your domain is from -4 to +2 only. Which is correct because you don't see any graph in here as well as in this portion. Now, let's talk about the range. For the range, you're going to start at the minimum level, going up. So, in the y-axis, the minimum is at the bottom and the maximum is on the top. So, we're going to color the area of the graph from -2 to +4. So, your range is from -2 to +4. We write it this way. Again, brackets because the two endpoints are shaded circles, meaning they are included in the solution set. Now, for the set builder notation, so y is an element of real numbers because we are talking of range, that is y. Such that, so -2 close to the vertical line, then 4 somewhere on the right. This is bracket, so less than or equal. This is also bracket, less than or equal. And then y. Then close your range. So it means your y ranges from -2 to +4. It's here, from -2 to +4, which is correct. You don't see a graph here as well as in this portion. Let's have another one. Again, for the domain, we shade coming from the left, going to the right. So you first see shade here that corresponds to this point, and ends here that corresponds to this point. Now, notice that this is shaded circle and this is open. So we write it this way. For shaded circle, bracket. For open circle, parentheses. In set builder notation, that will be so 0 and then 6. Since this is bracket, less than or equal. Since this is parentheses, less than only. And then x at the middle and enclose your domain. So your domain is from 0 to 6 only. You don't see graph here as well as on this portion. Now for the range. So from the minimum point, which is -4, up to the maximum point, which is 12. Again, this is shaded and this is open. So we write it this way. So bracket for -4, shaded, and then for 12, parentheses, because this is open. Set builder notation. So we have -4 close to the vertical line, then 12 somewhere on the right. For bracket, less than or equal. For parentheses, less than only. And then y at the middle because this is range. And then enclose your range. Let us have another one. So for the domain, we start coloring from left to right. But this is a little bit tricky. See these arrowheads here? It goes infinitely downward. And as the graph goes infinitely down, the width of the parabola goes wider too. So it means if this goes down infinitely, the width goes wider and wider as well. So there is no beginning and no end. Therefore, the domain is from negative infinity to positive infinity. This is much easier to write in set builder notation. So x such that x is an element of real number. Now for the range, we color from the minimum going to the maximum point. So since this has no end, so it came from negative infinity up to, look at your y, up to 0. So negative infinity to 0. For the set builder notation, that would be values of y that is less than 0. So y is an element of real number such that y is less than or equal to 0. There is or equal because this is not open. So that is included. Another one. So for the domain coming from the left going to the right. So look at your x-axis. You first see color at 0. And take note that it is open circle. Going to the right, see that arrowhead? It means it has no end. So the domain will be 0 to positive infinity. Parenthesis because this is an open circle. And then since there is an arrowhead, it goes infinitely to the right. So to positive infinity. Infinity, we also make use of parenthesis. So in set builder notation, it means these are values of x that are greater than 0. For the range, we'll start coloring from the minimum going up. So look at your y-axis. You started seeing a graph at 2 and then it goes upward. So from 2 to positive infinity. So for set builder notation, these are values of y that are greater than 2.